Hi everyone, David here. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for coming back for another video, or welcome if it's your first time. Thanks for joining us. How are you doing? I'm doing okay. I'm wearing a t-shirt today, but it's kind of cold. It was really warm last weekend, and including when I took this last video, but suddenly it's got cold again. The cherry blossoms are a bit confused. But anyway, today I'm going to be talking about part 2 of my trip to, well, I'm going to say trip to Tokyo. That's not really what I did. Last week I did a video about the Seishun Kippu. I went from Osaka to Tokyo in one day, which by the slower trains takes quite a while. It took me about 12 hours. That was my first day. You saw that in the last video. For the next 2 days I decided to come back day by day towards Osaka because I really wanted to see Mount Fuji a bit more and explore a bit of Shizuoka. So that's what you're going to see today, the day 2. Day 3 is not really enough to make a whole video. I'm going to group it in with some other similar things because it's about a temple. You'll see that fairly soon once I've got a chance to edit. But today I'm going to be taking you from Tokyo to Shizuoka, stopping at Atami first, which is a famous hot spring resort, and then moving on to Mount Fuji and Fujinomiya City. And then after that I'll go to my hotel in Hamamatsu. All of that is in Shizuoka. It's a very long prefecture. Yeah, so there we go. That's the topic of today's video. Please like this video, please subscribe, leave a comment. What's the other one? Share this channel, that would help me a lot. There's also a chance to give a super thanks. If you really love this video, you can give me like a one-time tip, or join one of the membership programs to get some extra contents if you really love my channel. And why wouldn't you, of course. Okay, so I'm going to narrate over this and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so let's start our trip in Tokyo Station. You can see the Shinkansen in the back there, but because I'm using the Seishun Kippu, no Shinkansens for me. I'm taking the regular train. But let's take a look anyway. This is the Hokuriku Shinkansen, one of the newest varieties. I think this one was heading off to Niigata. But not me. I was catching this regular train on the Tokaido line, and I was heading towards Atami Station. Some nice scenery on the way past. It was a lovely morning. And this line runs alongside the coast for a short section of it, so I could enjoy the view from there. Some people playing baseball, I think. And of course you get to see the ocean as well. Very nice for someone like me from the landlocked area. And here we are at Atami Station on JR. Quite a popular one. This is the end of the line for the JR East section. And the station is quite large because it's got the Shinkansen too, and it got very crowded by the time I was leaving. Now from the station there are 2 long shopping arcades. This is the Nakamisedori shopping arcade. One thing to note about Atami, it's very steep, so this is doesn't really come across on the video, but you can get all your souvenirs here and make your way down. Just walking past the end of the Heiwadori shopping arcade, that's the other one. I think that's a slightly bigger one as well. I'll go back there at the end. Anyway, Atami is a fairly small town, famous as an onsen resort. So there are naturally occurring hot springs around here. This is part of the Izu Peninsula, which kind of juts out to the south. So some quite cute little buildings. The place is looking a little bit old-fashioned these days. I think it's kind of past its heyday a little bit, but still has some nostalgic feelings for Japanese people. I wanted something to eat, so I went to a Sunbird Cafe, which is just on the beach. Had quite a nice view. It's quite hot in this this window because we were having a kind of unseasonably hot day. And I thought I had some toast and a kind of retro orange juice, very sweet. And just outside there, you could see it from the window, but this is Atami Sun Beach. So this is quite a popular resort in the summer as well. People go and relax on this nice golden sand beach. Otherwise you can have a bit of a wander around. There's a little pier sticking out from the mainland, so you can have a little walk around. And there's quite a long seaside promenade, which I had a bit of a walk down. There you go. And as it's by the sea, quite a large little harbour. And you can see a little castle in the background too. I don't know if that's called Atami Castle or something else. As I said, it was getting quite warm for March, so the cherry blossoms were just starting to come out. I think they're getting a little bit confused by our strange weather. So yeah, very nice place to hang around. take a nice walk on a sunny day. But after a little hot spring trip, I decided to take the train forward, going through Heiwadori Shopping Arcade on the way. But I was heading towards Mount Fuji, so Fuji Station. I changed trains at Fuji Station to Fujinomiya City. That's also on JR. Quite a kind of local train station. But as you can imagine from the name, Fujinomiya, the Miya part means a shrine, so we'll take a look at that later. But the Fuji part obviously refers to Mount Fuji, being a little bit shy over there, hiding behind the buildings. I thought I would take a little walk down here. You can just enjoy the quiet small town vibe. But about 5 to 10 minutes walk down here, you can get to the Mount Fuji World Heritage Center, and a lovely photo spot here. You can see the giant torii gate with Mount Fuji in the middle. Mount Fuji is one of the natural World Heritage Sites of Japan. So we've got the World Heritage Center. It's mostly built around this rather strange looking kind of upside down Mount Fuji shape, which is built around this spiral ramp, which will take you all the way through Mount Fuji's history and culture, and kind of nice little exhibits around here. So this kind of shows you what it's like to climb up Mount Fuji. This is at the base here, but as you go further up the spiral, you can reach different parts of the mountain and what it's like to hike up there. I've never done that myself. I'm not sure if I will or not, but it was kind of interesting how much of it is covered in trees. I didn't really think about it there, but they've got a lot of nature, so some exhibits dedicated to the various animal life that lives around Mount Fuji, and also its geology. But I didn't realise there's a second Mount Fuji underneath that got buried by the other one, because it's a volcano. As you can see, different layers under this volcano. It's not, I don't think it's an active volcano, it's dormant, I think. But the geology, obviously quite interesting, because it's a volcano. It hasn't erupted for more than 300 years though. So hopefully it's going to keep peaceful today. And you can write your own little memo on this Mount Fuji themed paper. Leave a message for Mount Fuji, your wish, which was cute. I did try that actually. I wrote down my message. I wonder if that got displayed or not. Anyway, further up the museum you can see some information about the plate tectonics, for example, and how Mount Fuji was created and how it was important through Japanese culture. There's a little photo gallery there, but on the top floor you can see finally the observation deck, where you can take all sorts of photos. People were certainly getting their money's worth. And a lovely view of Mount Fuji from here. This is not a very big town, so a lot of the buildings are not that tall. So just getting above the building line, you can have a nice view. I was very lucky to get a nice view of Mount Fuji. This was in March, like I said, so it hasn't become very humid. The humid summer months can be quite problematic trying to find Mount Fuji because it gets very cloudy. But luckily, we managed to get a nice view. So I decided to make my way back down. You can see some of the various exhibits, Mount Fuji in culture, in art, and its reputation in all over the world. There's also a little movie theatre that lets you see some different scenes of Mount Fuji. Of course, there's a gift shop. You can buy all sorts of interesting things. And because Mount Fuji is a World Heritage Site, there's a big display about those. Japanese people love World Heritage Sites. So there's some information about that in various languages. And a list of all the other Japanese UNESCO World Heritage Sites. I was surprised. I've actually been to 14 of them out of about 25, I think. And you can see the certificate from UNESCO as well. Around there too, there's also an exhibit, exactly what entails the World Heritage Site of Mount Fuji. So there are various points that got added onto the listing. So you can take a look at those, especially if you climb the mountain. So there we go, that's enough of that visitor centre. Very interesting. It's very cheap to get in as well. I think it was 300 or 500 yen. A nice view of that torii gate too. I thought I'd go to get some food now, so I'm in yakisoba land. I was a little bit late in the day, it was getting towards closing time. There's various little shops here. You can get some Fujinomiya yakisoba, particularly interesting because they have dried fish powder, and also the noodles are quite chewy by design. They're not just overcooked. After that, I decided to go to this shrine, Fujisan Hongu. I forgot the name of the rest of it. I just put it on the screen. A nice shrine dedicated to Mount Fuji. Obviously very important in religion too, because everything has a god in Japanese religion, so Mount Fuji is obviously very powerful, especially when it explodes. So you can take a bit of a wander around this shrine, and yeah, very beautiful inside. Not too crowded either. I think this is fairly off season. I was just getting here towards sunset, but the cherry blossoms were blooming in here too as well, which was very beautiful. Very peaceful. You can say your prayers and get a fortune if you like. So yeah, definitely a very beautiful shrine. Take a look in there, especially if you go into the visitor centre. It's literally only a 5-minute walk from there. And this statue is dedicated to John Fuji, who is the person who invented Mount Fuji. Maybe. That might not be the full story. I forgot to read up on this one. So there we go. That's the Mount Fuji World Heritage Centre. So I had a nice time there, taking lots of photos, especially when it closed and there weren't so many people around. And okay, Mount Fuji's getting a little bit cloudy. I did manage to let the clouds clear and get this nice reflective pool shot with no people around. This took me forever. Anyway, lovely to see Mount Fuji not shrouded in clouds. So there we go. Onward towards. I'm going back towards Osaka now. So I'm back at Fuji Station on JR. This is back on the Tokaido line. And here's my train. Another fairly long trip from here towards Hamamatsu Station. It was just getting dark at this point. You can't really see Mount Fuji very well now, but there we go. I did my best. So there we go. After I think about an hour and a half, maybe we got to Hamamatsu Station. So if you saw my video, the Osaka to Tokyo video, this was where I stopped for lunch. Famous for Hamamatsu gyoza, but I had those already, so I just made it towards my hotel. This is the Centurion Hotel Hamamatsu. I was really impressed by this hotel. It was very cheap. So this is Centurion. This has just had a makeover as well. I think last July in 2024. It's got redone, so it's very nice and clean. I'll show you around the room as well. Now this cost me 5,000 yen, which was a lovely bargain. This was a very comfortable bed, nice furnishings, nice blackout window shutters as well. I think that was a cram schooler ahead of me. Otherwise fairly standard for this kind of business hotel. I don't know if you can call it a business hotel, but yeah, it's a reasonable hotel. Mini fridge, TV, all the kind of things you expect. Decent size as well. Let's take a look in the bathroom too. Kind of standard unit bath, super toilet. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to hand back over to myself, and thanks for watching. Okay, welcome back. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I appreciate that. So what did you think of Atami and Mount Fuji? Personally, I don't think Atami was really for me, or maybe I wasn't in the right headspace for it. I like hot spring towns. I've been to like Kinosaki, for example, in Hyogo Prefecture, Arima as well, also in Hyogo, Kusatsu Onsen in in Gunma Prefecture. But yeah, maybe I just wasn't in the right headspace for it. It was very crowded. It was a really nice weekend, so I don't blame people for wanting to go outside. But the street's quite narrow, and tourists are generally quite irritating to me. They'll just stop in the middle of the street and just block the way, and they don't really care about anybody else. I know I'm a tourist in that case, but I'm a nice one. I'm a very considerate person. But sometimes it just gets on your nerves. It's quite difficult to walk around too, because it's very steep. I think I walked all the way down, and then I took a bus back to the station, so it didn't really cause me that much problem. Yeah, it's just nice. It's got a nice beach. That was kind of interesting. Don't really have a lot of nice beaches around Osaka. The hot spring I chose was kind of rubbish though. I looked on the internet for recommendations near me, And of course there's some fancy hotels that have their private onsen, but I went to one of the public ones, which turned out to be kind of like a super cento, like leisure center kind of place. It's more like a pool plus a spa, and it had seen better days, so well, never mind. I had a bit of a rest anyway. It wasn't very busy, so I could get some peace. Yeah, I mean, if you like doing the really tourist thing and you don't mind lining up for ages for things, for example, there's a famous Atami pudding, like a dessert, and people were waiting for like 30 minutes to line up for this shop, which I can't understand that motivation. I don't I'm not such a foodie anyway. I don't need to try pudding again. So that was Atami. So I'm sorry to be a bit of a downer. I'm sure it's a nice place for everybody else, but maybe not for me. As for Mount Fuji, I was really happy I could see it with very nice weather. Just to tell you the route, I followed the Tokaido line to Fuji Station, and then I changed to another, I forgot the name of the track, but it takes you to Fujinomiya Station, which took about 20 minutes. It wasn't that long. But just be wary that these kind of side train tracks, the service is a bit less regular than the Tokaido. So if you mistime it, you might have to wait kind of almost an hour if you're really unlucky. So just be mindful of that. As for Fujinomiya, very easy to walk around. From the station, it only took about 5 or 10 minutes to get to the visitor center, the Mount Fuji World Heritage Center. And that was great as well. Only 300 yen to get in. If you're younger than 15 or older than 70, I think it's free, but it's only 300 yen for adults as well. So definitely check that out. The inside was really interesting. I love these kind of modern visitor center vibes because it's architecture is quite interesting, like concrete and wood. I like that. Just the smell of it and the vibe is really nice. Yeah, it's good. And then of course there's an amazing view from the top of the visitor center. You can see Mount Fuji really clearly. I have heard, I don't know exactly about the weather conditions, but after rainy season, so that's around June to the end of summer, which is, being honest, probably mid-October, Japan is a very humid place, and that's prone to cloud Mount Fuji quite significantly. Last time I went past on the Shinkansen, maybe that was in my last Tokyo video, last year, I didn't even know where I was supposed to be looking for Mount Fuji. It was completely covered up, so I was a bit disappointed. But if you go during the drier months, so kind of, I don't know, November to May, let's say, you've got a good chance of having some good weather. So I was very lucky about that. If you want to climb Mount Fuji, things have changed a bit recently. I think they've installed a new fee for everybody climbing up. I think it's 4,000 yen to stop overcrowding, basically. More and more people are going up there, they're making a mess, and they're just filling it up. So to kind of preserve the site, then they're limiting the, are they limiting the number of people? I'm not sure. There's a gate as well now. You can't just go up and climb by yourself. You have to pay the fee. You need a booking, I think, as well, reservations. It's only for 2 months of the year, so July and August, and maybe a little bit of September. Because as you can see from the video, it's there's a large snow cap on top of the mountain. So please check up if you're planning to climb up there. I personally, I don't know if I'm ever going to do that. The visitor center was interesting because it showed you what it's like climbing up, but I don't know if my poor little legs can manage it. I'm sure they can, because lots of older people than me can do it. But anyway, yeah, so definitely check that out. Check out the table just moved by itself with poltergeist in here. Check out the shrine as well, the Fujinomiya Shrine. That's free to enter and very, very pretty inside as well. You don't really see a view of Mount Fuji from there, so don't bother going there for Instagram stuff, but it's just nice to visit. And yeah, there we go. So after that, I took the train back from Fujinomiya to Fuji and back on the Tokaido line to Hamamatsu. That took about maybe an hour and a half, I want to say. Atami to Fuji, that took about, oh, you're testing me now. That was over an hour, at least 1 hour 20 maybe. So yeah, it's a bit of a long trek if you're coming from Tokyo, but you can take the Shinkansen to to Atami, and also to not Fuji Station. There is a Shin Fuji Station, so you can go there if you want to take a shortcut. Yeah, so that was it. After that, Hamamatsu, I went back to Tokyo. Like I said, another video I'm going to talk about the third place I went to in Gifu Prefecture, which is Kegonji Temple. I'm going to do a little temple roundup that I've been doing recently. That'll come at some point. There we go. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you've learned something from that. At least enjoyed the pictures of Mount Fuji. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share the channel, leave a comment or a question. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And leave a super thanks if you really love this. That helps me a lot. I want to grow this channel and give you more information. And also join one of my subscriber levels. I would be very appreciative if you could do that. I think that's everything. So take care, have a nice week, and see you again. Bye bye.